The 8 pillars of jumping. Strength is first, because without strength in our body, we cannot animate our skeleton. We cannot move our body without strength. But theoretically, if you had no mobility, you wouldn't be able to express that strength. You could be the strongest in the world. You could have the strongest legs in the world. If they couldn't move, you wouldn't be able to express that strength. So right off the bat, strength is number one. That's needed. But mobility allows you to use your strength. Now, elasticity, you have muscles and then you have tendons. And the tendon holds the muscle to the bone. Your Achilles tendon's the biggest tendon in your body. The tendons and your overall elasticity, because even how you use your muscles and things of that nature, your coordination, allows you to exert elasticity, which means when force is put upon your body, how well and how fast, how hard and fast can you spring back? That's elasticity. If we have no spring effect whatsoever, then we can't use our mobility or our strength. So we want to build strength. We want to build enough mobility to use that strength. Then we want to build enough elasticity to use that mobility and strength. Now, technique, like many of these other things, someone may just have it naturally, may not. Technique is what allows you to then use your elasticity and your mobility and your strength in the most efficient, scientifically correct manner to make you jump high. Guess what? Your technique is coached by the guy who's jumping arguably higher than anyone in the world. He surely has the highest combined IQ and jump height on the planet. He's obsessive about technique. He's watching your best technique rep every single week. Just like we, as an ATG team, are watching your elasticity, your mobility, and your strength every week. So the point is, he's going to help you harness. He's going to help you harness your strength, mobility, and elasticity and put it into the right technique. Now, body comp, that refers to how much muscle you have versus how much fat, and where is it all stored. So you want, in order to use all 4 of these 4 could be wonderful, but you could have 100 pounds of body fat on you and not jump high. Or you might have so little muscle that you can't really get enough strength to begin with. So some of these things, body comp, it does apply. We can't just neglect that step or we'd be missing something. It is the body comp. It is the having the muscle tissue to exert with the minimum of fat. And even how we're building these things makes you very densely strong, meaning for every pound you gain, you're gaining exponential amounts of force. So how we build this stuff does result in your body comp. So without the body comp, you're going to be inhibited in all of these 4 above. Now, balance. Balance, right off the bat, we want balanced strength. We have exact numbers of how strong should the ankle be versus the knee versus the hip. But what about the right leg versus the left leg? We want that strength to be balanced in the right design according to what makes us jump high, and by being balanced, we can handle forces evenly and we don't wind up with injury. So imbalances are one of the main causes of injury. But we also want our mobility balance. We want the same flexibility on either side, and we don't want to have, flexible hamstrings but tight quads. So we're also balancing mobility and we're balancing elasticity, not only from one side to the other, but from Achilles to patellar. So your Achilles could be super elastic, your patellar not, and you could be running into knee problems, or vice versa. So we want balance between sides and balance between tendons for elasticity. And then technique, we want balance because we want to be able to have the same skill whether we go with a right-left approach or whether we go with a left-right approach. That way the forces going into our body are even. So balance applies to technique, and then of course balance applies to body comp, meaning having the right balance for you of muscle to body fat, having the right balance for you of where you store your muscle from lower body to upper body. Now, intent is what makes all this possible. Intent is more going to be represented at this point in time by videos from us explaining what you should think about when you're doing each thing. What should you be thinking about when you're improving strength? What should you be thinking about when you're stretching? What should you be thinking about, and let me say there, not just when you're stretching, but also when you're doing these strength through length exercises, what you're thinking about is huge. What should you be thinking about when you're doing your elasticity drills? What should you be thinking about when you jump, what should you be thinking about, whether it's keeping you strong on your diet, things of that nature, and then what should you be thinking about to rebalance? I've seen people all the time, they don't have the right intent on balance. So say they have one leg weaker than the other. They'll do their step-ups, and they'll drop down on one side and kind of cheat the weight up. But then the other side, which is doing great, has no pain, that side, they're doing perfect form. But the other side, they're not giving it the intent to actually make it catch up, and therefore it never catches up because they don't actually scale to the right level that they can have the right intent. So intent even applies to rebalancing your body, such as always starting with the weaker side so you can see what is that really capable of, then just match it with the stronger side. Say you start out one side strong, one side weak. We don't want to keep going like that. That keeps us struggling. We want to go, boom, there. So that all leads us to the final thing. Pain recovery gets right in the way of building our strength. Pain will stop us from building our mobility. Pain will mean we can't put full force on our elasticity. Pain will mean we can't jump with full intensity. Just being able to jump with all out intent, okay, because of no pain. If pain is in the way, you can't jump with all intent. That alone can get you a 40-inch vertical. Just being pain-free and being able to exert full intent into your technique can get you over a 40-inch vertical. Pain, that will stop you from your body comp. You're trying to be shredded, this, that, or whatever, but pain is getting you in the way from exerting all you can in your workouts. Pain messes up your balance hugely. Pain gets in the way so you can't get the right area to get as strong as the other area. It makes it so that you can't rebalance your jumps. And then pain stops your intent. Pain makes it so that you can't put the intent in because you think the intent. That momentary pain right there, you can't. This is a physiological fact. When you are experiencing that pain, you actually can't exert the full force. So, and then recovery falls into this, little tips such as, when to deload, things of that nature. Recovery is kind of woven in, but pain we actually have specific programs for, not to mention every single one of these factors is addressed according to pain. The very base of why we're building strength and wear is to prevent getting pain. Our base of strength in the base program is so that we don't get pain when we jump. So pain has to be accounted for in every single one of these. Pain affects every one of these, including the one right above, intent. Pain affects intent because your intent on your stretching, your strengthening, things of these nature, you're not working through pain. So pain is the final thing that puts it all together. And when we apply, okay, I don't even care if you train with me or not or whatever. If you can apply all 8 of these, you will keep jumping higher. Of course, there's physiological effects such as aging and things of that nature, but aging would only get in the way of these. So what I'm saying still stands true, which is that as long as you can apply these 8, you will keep jumping higher.